Happy Monday, Elkhart County Positive Parents. Thanks for joining us here today. And today we are hosting a guest. So this is Trisha Lightfoot. And Trisha is one of our Elkhart County Triple P expert practitioners. She's our most trained and our most experienced, probably. So I'd love to get into the database and see how many parents she's worked with. It's a lot. So Trisha, do you want to say anything else about yourself?
I've just really enjoyed Triple P all the years I've gotten to use it. I love seeing how the parents can come in really stressed dealing with whatever, whether it's toilet training or truancy and e-learning, and then by the end of a session or two sessions, they're significantly de-stressed. And it's just amazing to see how parents just getting to talk with somebody, de-stress, share their ideas and their concerns with, and realize they are amazing parents. And they realize that all over again. It's just amazing to see how they reconnect with their kids and their family just thrives. I love seeing that happen.
I admit there's something, it's so fun. I sometimes say about working with parents with Triple P, because people find out, oh, I'm doing this really well, and this one little thing could help me do this more easily or with less stress or that kind of thing. So
yeah.
So when I asked Trisha today, what do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? What are you hearing from parents? Trisha said balancing work, family responsibilities, households, children's learning, children going to school, all of that. So tell me, Trisha, why this topic? What piqued your interest, or what made you want to do this?
Well, the world has changed so much. Our community's changed so much. School has changed so much. Work has changed. Everything seems to have changed, and yet it's still kind of stayed the same. So how do we find that new balance? And I hear so much from so many parents, just that general sense of overwhelm, because they haven't found that balance. They haven't found how to reground themselves or their family to get back to what they felt was a healthy normal. So it's rediscovering, where do I want that balance? What can that balance look like? And what is our new normal? So balancing work and family today, I thought would be a really good, strong topic, because it's where we are today.
It's where we are. It's where we've always been. I mean, so Triple P had, you're saying, everything's different and everything's the same. Triple P had this tip sheet. It's always been hard. It's always been of interest. And now it just seems like even more so it's a challenge.
Definitely. And it doesn't matter if you're still going out to work and your kids are going to school, or they're staying home and you're staying home, or it's the mix in between. The reality is, everybody's working in their own way. Even if you're that 24/7 mom, you still have a job and you are working hard, and you just don't get the day off or the escape to go to work and relax and then come home. So it's just finding that balance and how to get your self-care needs met as you're balancing all of your to-dos every day. So that's really what I want to talk about.
Good point. Okay, so what do you have for us? What are some things we can do to get this balance right?
So what I just kind of want to talk about prevention strategies here. And one of the things we can really do to help ourselves not become too stressed or to reduce our stress is to teach our children to do some things for themselves. And this can happen at almost any age. So as soon as your children start showing an interest in wanting to put their shoes on or their clothes on when they're a toddler, teach them how to do that so you don't have to do that anymore. You can lay out their clothes the night before, so in the morning they can get themselves dressed. So start thinking strategically about things you do for your family, for your children, that maybe you don't need to be doing for much longer. Could you strategically plan a time to teach your children how to do this so they can take care of it and help you out? So we talked about toddlers. What about some preschool age, Anna? Can you think of one?
I mean, my big goal in life is to get my kids to the age where they could help with the dishes.
Yeah, dishes are great. Dishes, trash, sweeping, vacuuming.
Helping out with the pets.
Yep. As some parents,
they're kind of motivated in that one.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. For some parents, the teenagers, mom and dad are still waking the teenagers up. Teach them how to set that alarm clock. If they're like, oh, I don't have an alarm clock, well, most of them have a cell phone, and there's an alarm clock on there. And those
Although my kids have used that one. That's true. My kids have used that one to say why they should be allowed to keep their phones in their bedrooms at night. So we've had to get alarm clocks.
Yeah. So like I was kind of the mean mom on that one. Like I made them put their cell phones out on the table so they had to physically come out of their room to turn their alarm off. Again, it's really loud.
A lot of things.
Yeah. So think strategically. What can you teach your child to do so you don't have to do it for too much longer? You're still going to have to cheerlead them on through it. You're still going to have to, you know, check in occasionally. But what are some life skills you can go ahead and teach them so it is now their responsibility?
And there's so much planning ahead with that. Like for me to think now about, okay, rather than just responding in the moment and always feeling stressed, I have to think ahead about, okay, if I want to take this responsibility off my plate, that's going to take some time to put into teaching it, following through to make sure it happens. Like,
yeah, and
it takes some effort.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because we do need to think strategically about that. We need to plan ahead for that. And when we go to teach a new skill like that, we need to make sure we are teaching new skills in a time where everybody's calm and our children are happy and you're not stressed. Because if I'm super stressed and I'm trying to teach my child a new skill, it is not really going to end well. It's going to be a negative experience for them, a negative experience for me, and you're not really going to get good results. So find a time where it's relaxed. Maybe it's mid-Saturday afternoon or Sunday, who knows? Whatever time where your child's happy, relaxed, you're happy, you're relaxed, that's the opportunity and prime time to get in there and teach a new skill.
That is a good point.
Set them up for success as well.
So just running through the bedroom going, this has got to be cleaned up right now. Not that helpful.
Yeah. No, this skyrocket the stress right there. But we've all done it. It's okay. So we can try again another day and to do it well.
Okay.
So another tip to prevent, you know, family responsibilities from disrupting your work responsibilities. I love this tip, and it talks about developing a leaving home routine and having some basic ground rules. And this works even if you're no longer leaving home for work and your kids are still at home for e-learning. So you still have a set morning routine. Let your children know when you start work and you make sure that they're logged in for school on time. Have a routine in the mornings to set you guys all up for success to move on into that next phase for the day. That way everybody knows what's expected. I write my schedule down on the board, like mom starts working at 8 o'clock today. She's starting tomorrow at 8:30, like so they know like where that time is and they can tell about when I'm going to be done for the day. So it helps them realize that, okay, mom's just kind of unavailable unless she comes out of her workspace during those set hours. So figure out what would this routine look like for you. Are you taking your kids to school? Are they getting on the bus? Are you leaving? You know, think about your morning routine. Is there any area within the mornings that you can do to eliminate areas of stress or conflict and figure out how to plan around those? So those are really good ones.
So again, some pre-planning is going to really help you out in the moment.
Yes, absolutely. And when you are in like family time mode, if you're working from home, I encourage you very much to set some sort of after work routine that physically helps you like disconnect from work. Because if we have it work at home, it's hard not to think about it. So we have to be strategic in how we can't think about it. So does that mean like closing your computer down for the night? Is it hiding your computer in its like carry case so you don't even see it? How can you totally disconnect work and family time when it's family time? And then to prioritize your family. When it is family time, enjoy your family. Like they're precious. Enjoy them. Find ways to relax and enjoy your children when you're with them, whether that's teaching new life skills or playing a game with them and just talking with them.
I saw somebody recently said it's not so much with working from home that you're working from home. It's more that you're, how did they say this? Like that your home came to, like they're just so intermingled. It can be hard to separate this. Kind of like you're always kind of working, you're kind of not, you're trying to help with the e-learning, you're doing a little bit of everything. So you're saying like, make a break. Say, this is when I'm done, and now I'm doing this other thing.
Yeah, so we want to model a good, healthy balance for our children because they're learning from our everyday actions. So somebody once said to me, what we do in moderation, the possibility of our children doing it in excess is great. And that was really powerful and impacting to me, coming from a family of workaholics. Like, it's really easy for me to get into work mode and stay in work mode. I have to be very intentional to step back and put work away, and to model with my children, like, let's find some balance. Let's find balance. Whether that's playing or working, there still has to be balance.
And you want to do each one well while you're doing it, in as far as that's possible. I remember the phrase, it's not so much we're working from home, it's that we're living at work sometimes when we work home.
Living at work. Yeah. That's good.
So balance. That's just so often the issue with so many things we do.
So I want to move on now into like how we can prevent work from stressing us out when we're at home. So again, whether we're leaving work and coming home, or we're just leaving our workspace at home, like, we have to find that balance. And I encourage everybody, like, be assertive and let your boss know and your supervisors know the reality of where you're at with your family. Check in with the HR department, figure out what your benefits are, what your rights are, what kind of opportunities and leeway you have when it comes to taking care of family matters. Do you have paid time off benefits? Figure out what you have available to you to support your family as you guys are working through all of this stuff. Like, family's family. Family takes priority, and it's really helpful for us to de-stress if we know how our workplace can support us as we go ahead and provide for our family members. So it's not always just the medical or dental benefits. There's oftentimes other benefits that our employers do offer. So dive into that, investigate, figure out what you have available and within your grasp so you can support your families.
Yeah, I know my employer just has like an employee assistant. You can get 5 free counseling sessions, and you can use it for time management, stress management. Like, it doesn't have to be therapy. It can be just helping you work out this balance. You can use that benefit for.
Yeah, and even sometimes just knowing that's available can de-stress. Just knowing that it's available. You may never use it, but knowing that it's there can de-stress a lot of that mental just clutter that's back there, just fogging up the brain sometimes. So just knowing what's available and what is out there can be a stress reducer, definitely.
I could take FMLA if I needed to. I might not, but it's helpful to know that.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to go back to that kind of like workaholic thing. Like, here, the next tip does talk about avoid being overcommitted. So, like, think realistically, what can I truly handle? If I'm constantly picking up extra hours at work, why am I doing that? Am I doing that because I'm the sole provider for the family, we need the money? Or am I doing that because my kids right now are so challenging, it's more stressful to be at home than it is to be at work? So just acknowledge the reality of that and figure out how you're going to move past that. And if you are finding that you are avoiding coming home and your kids because it's stressful, I encourage you to reach out to us. We work with families like this every day. It's okay. You are not alone. You are not alone. And we can come alongside you and help you figure out like how you can bring that back into balance, how you can connect again with your children and strengthen those relationships so that those challenging behaviors aren't that challenging anymore. So don't quit with your family or at work.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say we do all this and we put all these great things in place and, you know, all that, and we still feel stressed. Like, it's just hard. There's just a lot. Like, what do you got? What can help us?
So, like, this sounds a lot to me like negative thoughts. And when we have those negative thoughts, we want to come up with some good positive coping statements. And some negative thoughts can just be like, I just have so much to do, I can't do it. It's too overwhelming. So you want to counter those negative thoughts with positive thoughts so you can reduce that stress levels. Like, yes, I have a lot to do. It will be okay. I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. Yes, the house is messy. I am so stressed, but I've had a clean house before. I know I can get there again. But Anna, this is a strength spot of yours. Like, I think you're really good at helping people create positive coping statements. So when a parent throws at you, like, my kid's just so disobedient, I just don't know what to do anymore, I just want to like quit, what do I do? Like, what's a good coping statement you can come up with to, help somebody overcome those
Yeah.
defeated feelings?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll think about it more, I'll think of it as what's realistic and helpful. Because realistically, yes, the child is disobedient sometimes and doesn't listen. That is realistic. It's also realistic that sometimes my child listens to me, or when I say things in a particular way, the child's more likely to listen or something like that. So I'll help them come up with what is something realistic and helpful. So my child is not listening to me right now. I can take a break and come back at this. Or yeah, what I'm trying to remember what else was in your scenario, but right now the way I'm approaching this is not working. I can try something else. So it puts the power back in my court to try something different rather than just feeling helpless about this kid who won't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, focusing on what you can do, keeping it in perspective. Like, that's absolutely true. So sometimes, it is just breaking it down into little chunks. Again, set yourselves up for success when you're feeling overwhelmed. Break it down into those small obtainable goals and celebrate those successes. Like, I don't care if the success was putting your shoes on that day. If that was a goal you wanted to reach and you put your shoes on, you celebrate that and you move on to the next little goal.
And same thing with our children, right? Like, I'll talk about reward improvement, not perfection.
Yeah.
Like, did the child listen to me one time? Did they put on one shoe? Did they clean up one toy?
Did they log into class? Did they attend their Google meeting? Like, e-learning's tough. We all know e-learning is tough. And bravo and kudos to all those teachers. They're fantastic. But on the parents' end, like, as we're trying to get our kids to move forward and just survive through e-learning, it seems like we celebrate every win. So every class they do a log into, every Google or Zoom meeting, whatever virtual session they're attending, and every assignment that's turned in, celebrate that, acknowledge that. Don't just focus on the negatives and what they didn't do, because it's already discouraging enough and overwhelming and stressful enough for them. So praise the progress here, like Anna said. We're going to focus on what they are doing well, and then we challenge them to take it to that next level. Do you think you can get one more assignment done tomorrow? You got 6 done today. You're supposed to have 8 a day. Do you think you can make it to 7?
Yeah.
So
and then, like you're saying, we can model that ourselves by being realistic about ourselves and giving ourselves a little bit of grace and a little bit of credit for what we are managing and how we're doing it.
Yep. Yeah. So find the victories, the little victories, and the things that you do get accomplished every day, and in the little changes you can make to reduce your stress.
So let me see if I've got kind of what you're saying. So plan ahead. What can your kids help with, and how can you teach them that and prepare for that? Plan ahead for some routines and rituals for getting into the working and schooling day and getting out of it, so that when you're at work, you're at work, when you're at home as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then catch yourself in those negative thought patterns and come up with positive coping statements that help you get through the day. And give yourself and your child credit for what you are doing well. Is that an accurate summary?
Yes, very well done. Very well done.
Thank you. Thank you. So Trisha, if people want more help, so you have some webinars coming up. I have a webinar coming up. What do you have, and how can people get it?
Well, next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we do have a webinar on dealing with disobedience. And you can check out the Triple P site in Triple P Elkhart County. And on
ElkhartCountyParents.org. I'm so excited about our new website.
Thanks, Anna. Say it again.
Say it again. ElkhartCountyParents.org.
ElkhartCountyParents.org.
There's a calendar of events that you can register right into Trisha's workshop.
It's much easier to register there. Yes, definitely. So you can go to the calendar, you can click whatever topics of interest for you. So we do have March booked out as well. There's multiple providers providing many different topics. So we have dealing with disobedience, ending us out for the month of February. And then in March, we're going to be focusing on fighting and aggression and a couple other topics as well. So check us out. If you're interested, sign up. Come join us.
And those are all online. They're between an hour and a half. Thursday, this coming Thursday, I think we have the third of our Stepping Stones webinars, which are for parents of children with disabilities. So check that out. Almost everything else besides those, if you speak Spanish, we'll figure out a way to get them to you, and everything else is available in both languages. Yeah, so you can see Trisha, get involved in one of those webinars. And as always, you can reach out to us for more information. info@elkhart.org. I already mentioned elkhartcountyparents.org. I'll say it again. Our phone line, 574-226-0160. We are happy to work with you on the smallest parenting challenges. Everything's great, but I'm having this one little thing, all the way up to like, I just don't know what to do. I'm at the end of my rope. Like,
and no matter where you're at, you're never alone. Somebody else has already been there.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. It's all good.
The Triple P is for every parent. So we all need a little support. So
thanks
yeah,
for having
anything
me
else,
today.
Trisha? Yeah.
No, just thanks.
Okay, we'll have you back again.
All right, see ya.
All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Hope this was helpful.